Jay Leno's garage is a treasure trove of automotive wonders, from rare vintage models to cutting-edge technology. From the iconic 1955 Vincent Black Prince to the elusive 1971 Velocet Thruxton, these motorcycles are more than just machines. They're rare gems. So join us as we dive into the world of the 20 rarest motorcycles in Jay Leno's garage. Number 20. 1971 Velocet Thruxton. The 1971 Velocet Thruxton is a remarkable vintage motorcycle with a storied past, once part of Jay Leno's collection. This bike was purchased by Leno after the English motorcycle manufacturer Velocet went out of business in the early 1970s. Before closing its doors, Velocet assembled a final batch of about 50 motorcycles, and Leno's Thruxton is among these last models. These racing motorcycles were well regarded for their performance, though they were quite expensive at the time, even though they featured a single-cylinder 500 cubic centimeter engine. Leno believes the Velocet Thruxton still holds a record for covering 24 hours at a speed of 100 miles per hour, although the Velocet Venom is also a celebrated British motorcycle. The Thruxton's technical specifications include an air-cooled, single-cylinder overhead valve engine with a displacement of 499 cubic centimeters, producing 41 horsepower. It has a 3-plate dry clutch and a 4-speed gearbox with a right foot shift. Number 19. 1962 Norton 650 SS. The 1962 Norton 650 SS is a dream come true for motorcycle enthusiasts, particularly for Jay Leno, who had long admired the British V Twin bikes from his youth. Leno finally acquired one of these classic machines, which he describes as not only visually stunning, but also capable of reaching speeds of up to 119 miles per hour. This particular cafe racer, having been restored, is likely in even better condition than it was when originally built. Leno appreciates the Norton 650 SS for its beauty, lightweight, and ease of handling, even though it boasted some of the largest engines of its time. The 1962 Norton 650 SS features a 4-stroke air-cooled parallel twin engine with a displacement of 646 cubic centimeters and produces 52 horsepower. It uses a chain final drive and has a top speed of 115 miles per hour. Number 18. 1976 MV Agusta 750. The 1976 MV Agusta 750 America is a standout motorcycle in post-World War II history, especially for Jay Leno, who has cherished it for about 25 to 26 years. Leno, a well-known motorcycle and car enthusiast, considers this bike the most significant of its era, even dubbing it the Ferrari of motorcycles. It holds a special place in MV Agusta's history, being both prestigious and expensive. The MV Agusta 750 America is notable for its shaft drive and hefty price tag, which was more than triple that of other motorcycles at the time, marking it as a significant investment. Technically, it features an air-cooled 4-stroke engine with transverse 4 cylinders, dual overhead camshafts, and 2 valves per cylinder. The engine displacement is 787.7 cubic centimeters, producing 75 horsepower. It has a 5-speed transmission and can reach a top speed of 130 miles per hour. Number 17. 1981 Honda CBX. The 1981 Honda CBX holds a special place for Jay Leno, as it was the first brand new vehicle he ever bought. This classic motorcycle, with its sleek design and powerful performance, stands out as a highlight in Leno's impressive collection. The Honda CBX is a 6-cylinder bike that produces 100 horsepower, making it a standout model that helped establish Honda's reputation in the motorcycle world. Leno vividly remembers the excitement he felt when purchasing this bike, describing how he was so thrilled he couldn't hardly sleep. At the time, the Honda CBX was the fastest production motorcycle available, which explains Leno's intense joy at owning it. The bike features an air-cooled 4-stroke inline-6 engine with a displacement of 1,046 cubic centimeters and a top speed of 137.9 miles per hour. It comes equipped with a 5-speed gearbox and chain final drive, showcasing its advanced engineering for its era. Number 16. 1955 Vincent Black Prince. The 1955 Vincent Black Prince was a top-of-the-line motorcycle designed for an exceptionally smooth ride, so comfortable that the makers claimed you could wear a suit and tie and still look impeccable. Unlike the Black Shadow, the Black Prince was intended to be more aerodynamic and was often described as the two-wheeled Bentley. Unfortunately, the rise of affordable small cars like the Mini led to a decline in the market for this pricey bike, which cost more than a car at the time. Despite its high cost, the Black Prince shared the same core design as the iconic Black Shadow, but featured added styling for better aerodynamics. It boasted a 50-degree overhead valve V Twin 4-stroke engine with a displacement of 998 cubic centimeters. The bike had a 4-speed transmission, produced 55 horsepower, and was claimed to reach a top speed of 120 miles per hour. Number 15. 1966 Much Mammoth. The 1966 Much Mammoth is a remarkable vintage motorcycle from Jay Leno's garage. Designed by Friedel Much, a top motorcycle tuner from Germany, this bike debuted in 1966 with a unique feature. It was powered by a 4-cylinder car engine from the NSU 996. This made the Mammoth a powerful and hefty motorcycle, notable for its time. The bike was not only expensive, but also reliable thanks to its robust engine. In 1968, Much upgraded the Mammoth with a 1,177 cubic centimeter NSU TTS car engine and reinforced the rear wheels to prevent breakage. The technical specifications of the 66 Mammoth include an air-cooled 4-stroke NSU inline-4 engine with a displacement of 996 cubic centimeters, generating 55 horsepower. It can reach a top speed of 115 miles per hour and weighs 480 pounds. Number 14. 1969 Classic Egley Vincent by Patrick Godet. The 1969 Classic Egley Vincent, crafted by Patrick Godet, is a remarkable example of vintage motorcycle design. Built on the legendary 1951 Vincent Black Shadow, this bike is considered by Jay Leno to be one of the most beautiful cafe racers ever created. While the sturdy frame was developed by Swiss motorcycle racer Fritz Egley, Patrick Godet was responsible for the final enhancements. Godet worked on upgrading the bike's features from a more powerful engine to improved brakes, transforming it into a striking modern cafe racer while still retaining its classic charm. The bike features an air-cooled 50-degree V-twin engine with a displacement of 1,300 cubic centimeters, delivering 100 horsepower. It also includes a dry multi-disc clutch and a 5-speed gearbox, ensuring both style and performance in this extraordinary machine. Number 13. 1974 Norton John Player Special. The 1974 Norton John Player Special is a vintage motorcycle that was a notable purchase for Jay Leno, who bought it just before his first appearance on The Tonight Show. He spent $3,000 on the bike, admitting it was a stretch for him financially at the time, but he believes it was completely worth it. The John Player Special stands out with its eye-catching design and impressive performance. This model, made before September of 1974, has some unique features. It places the rear brake pedal on the left side and the gear shift lever on the right side. These features change later due to new regulations in the U.S. The motorcycle is powered by an air-cooled 4-stroke parallel twin-cylinder engine with push rods and 2 valves per cylinder, boasting a displacement of 828 cubic centimeters and delivering 50 horsepower or 60 horsepower in the R model. It has a 4-speed transmission. Number 12. 1975 Suzuki Re5. The 1975 Suzuki Re5 is a standout motorcycle praised by Jay Leno for its exceptionally smooth ride. This unique model from the mid-1970s might seem like just another cafe racer at first glance, but it offers something special with its sub-500 cubic centimeter Wankel rotary engine. The rotary engine is known for its smooth performance and distinctive sound, making the Suzuki Re5 a memorable and thrilling bike. However, the Re5 didn't sell well, largely because the rotary engine was an unusual and unconventional choice for motorcycles in the US at the time. Despite its low sales, the Suzuki Re5 remains a notable model due to its innovative design and unique engine drone that sets it apart on the road. The bike features a liquid and oil-cooled single rotary housing engine with a displacement of 498 cubic centimeters, a 5-speed transmission, 62 horsepower, and 55 pound-feet of torque. Number 11. 1929 Scott Flying Squirrel. The 1929 Scott Flying Squirrel is a standout vintage motorcycle in Jay Leno's collection, and it's one of the oldest bikes he owns. This model is a replica of the race-winning bike that Alfred Angus Scott rode in the Isle of Man race. Although it doesn't have lights, as it's a race replica, Leno has it registered with a California license plate and enjoys riding it, showcasing that it's still a fantastic bike to ride despite being almost a century old. A unique feature of this motorcycle is its cooling system. Instead of using a water pump, it relies on a method called thermosiphoning. In this system, the engine heats the water, causing hot water to push the cooler water forward through the radiator, which helps keep the engine cool. The Scott Flying Squirrel has a water-cooled 2-stroke twin-cylinder engine with a displacement of 596 cubic centimeters, a 3-speed transmission, 28 horsepower, and a top speed of 75 miles per hour. Number 10. 1922 Mola Touring. The 1922 Mola Touring motorcycle is one of the rarest bikes ever made. Only about 2,000 of these unique machines were produced in Germany during the 1920s. Production stopped because of inflation, and today restoring one is a challenging job due to its age and rarity. The Mola Touring stands out with its distinct design and luxurious seating, emphasizing its status as a high-end touring motorcycle. Unlike modern bikes, this model features a radial engine, which is different from the rotary engine found in the Mola racing model. One of the quirks of this vintage bike is that it requires gas to be hand-pumped into the engine from time to time. The Mola Touring was made between 1921 and 1925 and is equipped with a 5-cylinder radial engine, producing 14 horsepower from a displacement of 640 cubic centimeters. It lacks a traditional transmission, neutral gear, and clutch, adding to its vintage charm. Number 9. 1930 Opal Moto Club. Jay Leno was surprised to come across the 1930 Opal Moto Club, a vintage motorcycle he had never seen before. Known for his extensive knowledge of motorcycles, Leno was baffled by this unique model. Manufactured by Opal before they began making cars, the 1930 Opal Moto Club was once called the Silver Redbird. This 3-speed motorcycle is quite rare, with only about 1,500 units produced. According to a restorer, there are only around 12 of these motorcycles still in existence, making it a significant piece of motorcycle history. The Opal Moto Club was built between 1928 and 1930. It features a single-cylinder engine with a displacement of 500 cubic centimeters. The motorcycle's horsepower ranged between 16 and 22 horsepower, and it could reach a top speed of 65 miles per hour. Number 8. 1918 Columbia Pope Motorcycle. Jay Leno talks about one of his favorite motorcycles in his collection, the 1918 Columbia Pope, on the YouTube channel My Classic Car TV. Although this isn't an episode of Jay Leno's Garage, it still showcases Leno's enthusiasm for vintage bikes. The 1918 Columbia Pope stands out because it features a chain drive, a technology that was quite advanced for its time. Unlike modern motorcycles, it doesn't meet today's standards and requires the rider to press down hard on the left foot operated clutch to engage the brake. This bike is a prime example of vintage engineering. The 1918 Pope Model L is powered by a 4-stroke V Twin engine with a displacement of 998 cubic centimeters. It has a 3-speed gearbox and uses a chain for its final drive. The top speed of this classic motorcycle is 65.2 miles per hour. Number 7. 1912 Indian Single. In 1912, Indian motorcycles made a rare series of their single model with a belt drive, unlike their usual chain drive. While other brands like Harley-Davidson use belt drives, Indian had been using chain drives since the early 1900s. For 1911 and a few 1912 models, Indian offered a 4-horsepower bike with a belt drive to stay competitive on price. These bikes were notable for their use of shafts, universal joints, and bell cranks for ignition and carburetor controls, making them quite popular despite their rarity. By 1913, Indian returned to the chain drive, so these belt drive models are now hard to find. Even Steve McQueen had one in his collection, and seeing Jay Leno ride such a vintage bike is a treat. The 1912 Indian single with a belt drive features a 500 cubic centimeter air-cooled single-cylinder engine, magneto ignition, and a hand-operated clutch, pedal crank starting, and a leaf spring fork with a rear band brake. Number 6. 1931 Henderson KJ Police Special. The 1931 Henderson KJ Police Special is a remarkable vintage motorcycle featured in Jay Leno's garage. Back in the early 20th century, when Henderson was still producing motorcycles, they employed Harley-Davidson's chief engineer, Arthur Constantine. He criticized their previous model, the Deluxe, as outdated. The Henderson KJ, introduced in 1929, was a major leap forward, producing 40 horsepower and showcasing advanced features for its time. Its impressive performance caught the attention of the U.S. Department of Traffic Police, which chose it for chasing down lawbreakers. Today, this classic motorcycle is highly coveted, and many enthusiasts would love the chance to ride it. Number 5. 1931 Indian 101 Scout. The 1931 Indian 101 Scout motorcycle is a notable piece of automotive history, especially highlighted by Jay Leno in his garage. Known for its impressive performance even against the wall of death, this vintage bike was a favorite among stunt riders for its reliability. Despite its 45 cubic inch displacement and flathead engine, which might not seem impressive today, it delivered remarkable performance and still holds a special place in motorcycle history. The Indian Scout's legacy continues in modern models. Leno praises how this older bike, despite its simpler technology, managed to outshine competitors like Harley-Davidson and Excelsior on the racetrack. He acknowledges that while the ride may be gentler, the 1931 Indian 101 Scout is more of a historic artifact than a modern motorcycle and should be ridden with respect. The bike features a 750 cubic centimeter engine, a side valve 42-degree V Twin, 22 horsepower, a 3-speed transmission, a wet multi-disc clutch, and weighs 370 pounds. Number 4. 1936 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead. The 1936 Harley-Davidson Knucklehead is a timeless classic celebrated for its significant impact on the Harley-Davidson brand. Jay Leno's personal collection includes this vintage motorcycle, which holds historical value due to its innovative engine design. The Knucklehead engine's influence extended even to the Evolution engine model, introduced nearly 50 years later. Leno considers this motorcycle pivotal in Harley-Davidson's history. Remarkably, Leno purchased the Knucklehead in the 1980s, then stored it away and largely forgot about it for 3 decades. When he finally decided to start it up, the bike surprisingly roared to life after just a few kicks. This was possible only after he had cleaned the carburetor and drained the old gasoline from the tank. This highlights the enduring quality and reliability of the 1936 Knucklehead, making it a cherished part of motorcycle history. Number 3. 1939 Vincent HRD Series A Rapide. The 1939 Vincent HRD Series A Rapide is one of the rarest classic motorcycles ever made, with only 78 to 79 units built. Known for its impressive performance, it could reach speeds of 110 miles per hour, which was remarkable for a motorcycle built before World War II. The idea for this bike came from British motorcycle racer and pilot Howard Raymond Davies, who conceived the perfect racing motorcycle while he was a prisoner of war. After being released, Davies began work on what would become the HRD, a brand later acquired by Vincent. Vincent continued to develop even faster models under their name. Jay Leno calls the Vincent Series A one of the most beautiful motorcycles he has ever seen and highlights that it was designed to be ridden. Leno often rides the bike to demonstrate its functionality and enduring appeal. The motorcycle features a 4-stroke, 47.5-degree V-twin engine with a displacement of 998 cubic centimeters, producing 45 horsepower, and has a 4-speed gearbox with a chain final drive. Its top speed is 111.8 miles per hour. Number 2. 2010 Musket V Twin. The Musket V Twin is a motorcycle that looks a lot like a classic Royal Enfield Bullet, and that's intentional. This bike is inspired by the British V-twin models from the 1950s. It was created by Aniket Vardam, a skilled builder and fabricator. The idea for the Musket V-twin came to him when he was just 19 years old after he saw a V-twin Harley-Davidson motorcycle. To bring his vision to life, Vardam meticulously hand-carved wooden molds to cast parts for the powerful Musket V-twin Royal Enfield motorcycles. His craftsmanship combines old-school design with modern performance, making the Musket V-twin a unique blend of classic and contemporary motorcycle engineering. At number 1, the 2020 V2 Ducati Imola Evo. The V2 Ducati Imola Evo is an impressive replica of the 1981 Ducati 900 SS. Jay Leno recently featured this motorcycle on his YouTube channel, Jay Leno's Garage, where he interviewed Brooke Henry and Andrew Cathcart from V2 Australia. They showcased their meticulous reproduction of the iconic bike, which was built from the ground up to mirror the original 1981 model. Remarkably, the engine is also a faithful copy of the original. The V2 Ritorno twin engine, crafted according to factory specifications, is an air-cooled single overhead camshaft desmodromic 90-degree V-twin 4-stroke engine. It features 2 valves per cylinder and a bevel gear camshaft drive, just like the original Ducati SS that made such a significant impact in the world of motorcycles. This level of detail and accuracy makes the V2 Imola Evo a standout in motorcycle replicas. As we wrap up our tour of the 20 rarest motorcycles in Jay Leno's Garage, which bike surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible vehicle content. And thanks for watching.